and welcome back. Today we are going to be reviewing the Prismatica palette from Becca Cosmetics. This is the brand new holiday palette in collaboration with Barbie Ferreira, and we are going to be testing it out today on the face, on the eyes. I'll show you swatches and we will get into the palette. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Okay, so Becca did send this over to me. This is a brand new launch that is a part of their holiday collection. I'm assuming this is going to be limited edition, but it doesn't say that here on the card that I have, but I'm just assuming because it is a collaboration and it is also a holiday palette. So let's go ahead and dig into a little bit about this before I open it up. So it says that it is the Becca X Barbie Ferreira Prismatica Face Palette. It is a highlight, blush, bronze, and define your eyes face and eye palette. It says endless holiday looks for one makeup palette, developed with new prismatic pigments. Each of the 5 shades blend seamlessly, layer iridescent color, and light for multi-dimensional looks, then soft and subdue for bright and bold. So pretty much it's saying you can use this on your face, on your eyes, or you can use it basically anywhere on your body if you want to. They have a few little card here, like ways to kind of do it more natural, and then also kind of do something a little bit more fun. I am not familiar with Barbie Ferreira, but from what I've seen, I believe she is on the show Euphoria. So that is actually a show I wanted to watch, but I haven't seen. So I don't really know much about her, but I was excited to see this palette. I feel like Becca, they don't release stuff like all too often. I feel like their releases, I don't know, they space them out quite a bit more than other brands, which I don't necessarily hate because I feel like sometimes when they throw everything out there and it's like a new release every week, it is overwhelming. But for me, Becca doesn't really release too much, and I definitely don't feel like they do a lot of collabs. Like I really haven't seen them. I know they did the Chrissy Teigen one, the Chloe and Malika palette, and then Jaclyn Hill. I think those are the only collabs that I've seen from Becca. There might be more that I don't know of, but those are the ones that just come off the top of my head. So I thought this was interesting that they decided to do a collaboration for a holiday palette. Taking it out of the packaging, the palette itself looks absolutely beautiful. Like this packaging is so gorgeous. It also has a bit of like a slant to it, if you can kind of tell. It's just really pretty. It has like this fun, iridescent type of vibe to it. I just think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the packaging. It's gonna go ahead and open up like this. So very cute. It has mirrors on both ends right here. The palette does retail for $42 and it is available now. So I'll have it linked down below in case you guys are interested. I believe it says it's available on Ulta and Sephora as well as Becca's website. So I'll have this link down below for you guys. So let's go ahead and swatch the palette really quickly and then we will test it out on the eye. So it does have a card right here that has all of the shade names on there. So that is on there, but I'll go ahead and show you guys the palette up close so you can see it. So here are all of the shades. So it does have 5 different shades total a part of this palette. So I'm going to swatch all of the shades for you guys. So I do want to start with this one here. This one is described as a plum shimmer. It's called Hustler. So I'm going to go ahead and just swatch them each as we go so we can kind of see how pigmented they are. So that is that one right there. And again, these can be used on the eyes and on the face. So if you want to do a lighter application, I feel like you could go really soft with that shade, but kind of, you know, swiping it, it looks pretty pigmented. And then next we have the shade Hued, and this one is described as a warm rose shimmer. And I'll go ahead and give this one a swatch here. And here is that shade right there. Okay, the next shade is the shade Reflect. This is described as an effervescent blue pearl. I'm not sure on that word. I've never actually heard that word before. But that is the middle shade, and this is going to be like the, I think, largest pan in the palette. And here is a swatch of that shade. That one's really pretty. It's like an icy, like a blue shade. That one is gorgeous. And then we also have the shade Prismify. This one is a warm vanilla shimmer. That is going to be this one right here. So go ahead and give that one a shot. Swatch. This one looks to be more of like a gold champagne. I think that one would be really pretty as a highlights color. And then the last one in the palette is this one here, and this is Glimmer, and it's a bronze shimmer. So I'm going to use this one probably as a bronzer. All of these do have a lot of reflect to them. They are all very pigmented, but you're not going to want to do like, I don't know, this is definitely going to give you like a glowy, vibey type of look. So I'm curious to see how they all perform. So I am going to go ahead and try them on the face and on the eyes, and we will see what we think of the palette. Packaging wise, it's super cute. It is a little bit bulky because these are a little larger, but I feel like for holiday, I kind of love like holiday packaging. So I think that this is definitely something that would make a great gift. So let's go ahead and start trying them out. I think I'm going to do the eyes first, and then we'll try them out on the face. So I'm just going to throw down a little bit of concealer just so I have a little bit of something, kind of just to cancel out that redness I have on my eyes. I'm using this one from Laura Mercier, and I'm just going to lightly tap this on my lid just to have a white base to go in with. Okay, so now that we've got that all blended out, I am going to start with the palette. I think for my first shade, I'm going to go into this one right here, and I'm going to work a little bit of this on my crease. So since these are all shimmers, I'm going to be kind of weary of how they look on the eyes. I love a good matte like look on the eyes, but I think these will be pretty. So I'm going to kind of just like stamp this on my crease really quick, and then I will go ahead and blend it out. I think if you use a lighter touch with these, and you can definitely get more of a softer application, which is what I'm going to try and do here. Actually, okay, that actually doesn't have, like, you can see it doesn't really have much particles in it when you're putting it on the eye. So I actually think that this doesn't look as shimmery as I thought it was going to look. The mirrors are kind of weird since they are like slanted like this. It's kind of like awkward to look in it, but you can still definitely see. Okay, so that actually isn't a bad like crease color by any means. It doesn't have like too much shimmer. I actually think it looks nice. So I'm just gonna layer this up a tiny bit, and then we'll go ahead and go in with some of the other shades. All right, so that shade is actually all blended. It blended really nicely for a shimmer. And now I'm gonna go into the purple right here, and we are gonna use a little bit of this kind of the same way. I'm gonna go in with my brush, but I'm gonna use a soft hand. So I'm kind of just gonna start to stamp that a little and then go ahead and start to blend it. I think the lower you hold your brush here, the less product like you're gonna really get on your eye if you kind of just do like a soft application. Rowan's doing a screaming thing in the background if you are new to my channel. He's always doing this like high-pitched scream when he's excited, so he's definitely doing that. I really love the way that those colors look together. I think this one almost looks like it has a little bit more shimmer to it, but it's not anything too intense. Like I normally don't love shimmers in the crease, but I don't think that these look like overly shimmered to where it's like hard to work with or anything. They seem to be blending really nicely too. Okay, so I even think if you just did like those two right there, that would be like a really pretty easy soft look. I am gonna go into the middle shade just because I think it's so gorgeous. I want to try that out like kind of all over the lid. I think I'm gonna use my finger for this because it is such a fun like iridescent purple shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tap this. I don't want it to be, yeah, that's definitely like a blue. Okay, I don't want it to be too intense just as we have like a softer eye look. I kind of just want it to just like give a subtle sparkle. That definitely has such a blue tint to it, but it's almost like a blue purple. And I'm just gonna go ahead, like I said, and just lightly tap this. I'm like barely applying any pressure just because I want it to be more subtle. But that's actually a really nice shade. I'm not seeing any fallout so far either. Like I don't have any glitter. Sometimes with glitter or with shimmer shades like on the crease too, like you can get a lot of fallout, but I don't really see any fallout. So just kind of like I said, tapping this all over the lid. Okay, so now for lower lash, I'm actually gonna go back into that shade right there. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of this just down on my lower lash line and just begin to blend that shade in. This is so much softer than I thought it was gonna be. Like I really thought I was gonna have like this crazy iridescent, like glittery eye going on, but I actually don't. As I'm filming this, I'm headed to lunch with my friend Kelly Gooch. She is another YouTuber. I'm sure a lot of you know who she is. We live super close to each other, but we actually haven't met up since we went to New York last year, just with like COVID and everything. But we live so close to each other and we just like never hang out. So we are doing lunch today at a little cafe, so that should be fun. And as I'm filming this, I'm thinking, wow, I was thinking I was gonna have like this crazy eye look on my eyes for our little visit, but I think it's way more subtle than I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pop some mascara on. I think that that's gonna do it for the eyes, and then we'll move on to trying them out on the face. All right, so I have mascara done, and I love the way this eye look came out. It's so soft, but like so pretty at the same time. It's very like reflective and cute. So now we're gonna go ahead and try the shades as a bronzer. And I want to go in with this shade right here and use that as a bronzer first. Full shimmer bronzers, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't normally do. I kind of do like a matte and then I'll top it with a shimmer. But for the sake of this video, I want to see how it looks just on its own. So I'm going to try it just as a bronzer by itself. So I'm going to kind of just stamp it. Yeah, okay, that is pretty glittery. I wasn't sure since the ones on the eye, like it doesn't look super glittery, but it definitely has quite a few, you can see like shimmer particles in it. So for me, I don't always prefer that like in a bronzer, but it actually doesn't look like, okay. It definitely has a reflectiveness to it, but it doesn't look too textured. Like I was worried that it was gonna look really textured because I have such feel like this looks really shiny over here. Since I have such, like, I feel like I have, like, quite a bit of, like, wrinkles and everything, and I don't like to, like, put shimmer right there always, but, like, I feel like, let's build it up a tiny bit more. Kind of just gave me, like, a really healthy glow. Wow, I'm very impressed with this palette so far. I really even, like, was prepared to, like, hate this bronzer on the cheeks, just how shimmery it is, but I don't hate it. I think it actually looks really nice. I don't know that I would need a highlight, like, on top of that, because I feel like it's so reflective. But if you're into, like, a glowy complexion, I definitely think that this would work well. And I think it also would work well on different skin tones, because I feel like you could really build this up. And I think it looks more natural on me right now, but I feel like if you wanted to, or even for a deeper complexion, I feel like you could go a little bit more heavy-handed with this, and I think it would look really nice as well. So that is that shade. For the sake of the video, I'm also going to add some highlight, but I think if I were doing this just like without testing it out, I think I would just leave that on its own because it has such a pretty reflect to it. I don't think I would need highlight on top of that, but we are going to try out this champagne color because we haven't tried it yet. So for that, I'm going to grab this fan brush here, and we're just going to go in with that, and I am going to add it just to the tippy top right here. And this one kind of just reminds me of like the typical Becca champagne shade. Ooh, pretty. And that actually looks really nice over top of the bronzer there. I think I may add a little of this to my inner corner as well. I'm gonna add a tiny bit here to my nose just to give a little bit of glow there as well. All right, so for inner corner, again, I'm just gonna grab a small little detail brush here, and we're just gonna add a little bit of the shade just right here in the inner corner, just to give it a little pop. All right, so after adding the inner corner, you guys, I think that that is going to do it for this review. To kind of wrap everything up or wrap up my thoughts, I'm really pleasantly surprised with this one. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting to like this as much as I did. I feel like this eye look is beautiful. The glow that I have on my skin is like super just like lit from within. It's not too iridescent. It's not too bright, which is what I kind of thought this palette was. You can definitely go in with the soft hands. I don't know. I think that this is actually really, really nice. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. I definitely think I'm going to reach into it a bunch come this holiday season, and really just whenever, because I feel like this is a very like summery look as well. So you guys will have to comment down below and let me know if you were interested in this palette, kind of your thoughts on this look. Based upon my application, it's just a bit different than I thought it was going to be. So I'm curious to see your guys' thoughts on it. Again, I'll have it linked down below in case you are interested in checking it out. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends.